This is the end of mile 22. This is where the rough part of the trail, towpath, ends or starts, and this resurfaced trail begins. Block 24. Mile 23. Mile 26, and just after that marker is the hiker-biker campsite, 10 miles from Swains Lock. Stop here and take care of a couple bike adjustments. Horsepen Branch. This is mile 26 campsite. I was at 16.6 this morning. So 10 miles. Going slow. Broke a couple spokes yesterday some point. And I broke another one here just now. And I thought I would because one was tensioned too much. I should have loosened it. So get my rear bags off and prop it up on the table. On the bench. Get that replaced. It's actually on the non-drive side this time. Probably see it there. Hang in there. So it shouldn't be too hard to get in there. That's one good thing about this Enviola hub. Should be out of the way of anything. Alright, let's get that fixed. So I removed the battery bag. It's got my chair and a little table in there. So let's remove these bags. These are light. These are basically just camping stuff. Okay, let's get this off. It's got my camping gear in there basically. Tent, quilt, air mattress, a couple other things. It's pretty light by themselves. 10 pounds maybe in the camping stuff. But the bags are a little bit heavy. They're about 3.5 pounds each, just empty. Of course, I got a couple light things on the outside. Reflective vest. I've got about a ½ pound bike cover for the entire bike itself. Cable lock, and a couple other things. Mosquito spray on the outside. Little dish liquid. So let's get these off. All right, there's one. Let's see if I can keep it in frame here. Let's see if it's gonna. There we go. Very good. Of course, I'll move that over to the other side so I can work on this side. Okay, have the bike propped up on the table delicately, and pulled the spoke out and matched it up. There's a 1 millimeter difference on each of the spokes. One's a drive side, one's a non-drive side. So I just matched it to what I pulled out. Replaced 2 more spokes. See how long they last. This time I checked each of the spokes. I didn't check them back at the camp to check the tension on each of them. So a couple of them could have been too high. So I retensioned it. It's pretty close to being true, but not exact. But I think close enough. Time will tell. Let's roll. Been quite a few helicopters up and down the corridor of Potomac River. This e-bike has a rear hub called the Enviola hub. It's the heavy-duty version. I won't go into all the specs on it, but it's a really good hub that I've read and heard about. But the biggest thing is on changing spokes. The spoke holes are all outside of the gear cog range, so it's pretty easy to put them in there. I mean, I still have to finagle the spoke a little bit, you know, bend it just slightly to guide it in there, guide it where it belongs. But so far, out of the 4 spokes I've changed, a couple yesterday and today, I did manage to get them all done, and I think they're in there right. Looks like it, and I retensioned everything. But yeah, the Enviola hub, it's larger diameter, so it helps to just put in the spokes without having to remove the cog side. Of course, I'm going west now. Start out at Swains Lock this morning, and this is 27.3. If you exit here and go out, follow the road about 7 or 8 miles, you'll come across Poolsville. I have not gone out there with my bicycle, but it's probably a little bit easier than going out from Edwards Ferry exit. At least that's what I've researched on Ride with GPS. I don't think it's quite as steep of hills. You'll have to research it yourself and check traffic. But if you really need to go off to Poolsville, about 7 or 8 miles, maybe 6 from there, that's probably the place you want to do it from. It's a slight uphill going west, past 29, almost to 30, and it's just slightly uphill. So we passed, well, probably since 24. I didn't notice it really much before 24, but after that it starts to go up a little bit. If you're tired, you're going to notice it. If you're not, it's just a normal pedal day. I wanted to mention, each time I changed my spokes so far, I was able to do it without taking the tire off at all. I'm running tubes, so you can imagine the inflation inside is keeping the spoke nipples pretty much in place without coming out. I'd title this one, Thoughts While on a Bike Trip. One more thought came to mind, my food. I generally buy food packets and rice packets and stuff like that, maybe some noodles, chicken noodle soup, but the past 2 nights I've been camping, I haven't used any of that. Peanut butter and jelly is really my go-to meal, so I'm going to cut back on that type of food. It's always plentiful. I can get it in most of any town if I want something different. I generally just try to pack as if I'm going to pack for a week or so, 10 days, and not have to go out and get stuff, but I haven't touched it. And probably even tonight I wouldn't. Maybe the 4th or 5th night I might want to, get a hot chocolate or something if it's cooling down like this weekend. But yeah, I've got way too much weight on food. And water's plentiful that I've seen. If you fill up 2 or 3 bottles, different places, public water sources, if you know where they're at. Not sure if I've got any of that while I zoomed in or not. I'll have to check. At every lock there's about a 10-foot rise, 8 to 10 feet. Hopefully I'm not speaking too soon, but it's rolling good. Coming up on 32 milepost. Milepost 32. This is the first section that they ever resurfaced. Has it been 6 years ago? didn't have my phone out, camera, soon enough. There's a black snake on that tree back there. 33, about the halfway point of this stretch. And then White's Ferry is up here about 35 and a half. And then Marble Quarry campsite is one of them, if you want to camp. I think there was another one before that. Yeah. Check the list. Early morning and late evening, the sun is out pretty low, and the baseball cap helps to block that sun and tilt your head. Of course, I'm sure you know that. Nothing new. A little more slightly uphill. River's over there. Most of the canal is overgrown in the rest of this, up until you get up west a good bit. So this is day 3 of this time out. I was only planning 4 or 5 nights, so 4 nights this week. So if I go out till tomorrow, that'll be 4 days, 3 nights, which I think is a reasonable time to be out. Then go back home if you have a home and rejuvenate, get things cleaned up, showered up, be back out again. That's my plan for next week. I've not stayed at this one. Turtle Run. With any campsite with a table, that's a winner, and they're free. Bike is still rolling good, nice and smooth. Not hearing any noises in the back or anything. But every 4 or 5 miles I've stopped to just take a look, rolling the bike and checking the hub for any broken spokes. So knock on wood, so far everything's good. So maybe I've got all the compromised spokes out of the way. Oh, the other thing I've been trying to do is control how much shifting in the higher gearing I do in the back. I think that exerts more force on the rear hub, which in turn puts more force on the spokes, trying to turn the wheel. So I try to keep it lower, and I've been going slower. Not that I was going fast before, but I try to go a bit slower. Right, I've been 8 to 10 miles per hour. Coming down is probably 12 to 14 miles per hour. Okay, made that turn. Now coast down here to White's Ferry, grab a cold soda. And I definitely be careful on these humps. I think it shifts the weight. And if I brake too hard in the back, that also exerts more force. All right, here I am, White's Ferry. Okay, all refueled. I'm good for a while. Nice, good sub. Half a sub was plenty. It was loaded. That and cold Dr. Pepper. Added a tip, so about $15 with a 15% tip for half a sub and a soda. Sodas are $3, in case you're wondering. Okay, see how the bike continues to roll. Knock on wood, no more spoke issues. I expect there'll be more though. I think it's still trying to work its way out of the system from a month ago when I broke 3 spokes up on Paw Paw area between that little Orleans. It was too rough, going too fast for that section and hit too many holes. So back at mile 22 is where the resurfacing restarted. I'm going west towards Shepherdstown. So 22 to 73. I'm going to slow it down. Obviously, I'm going to camp somewhere tonight, and I'll be home tomorrow. But it is beautiful out here. If you can get out, come on out. It is very nice. It's just the right amount of breeze going when I'm riding, and I'm not going fast, 8 to 10 miles per hour. On the way down, about 12 to 13, 11 sometimes, usually. But after I had that spoke issue yesterday, once I hit the rougher section, I think that was just enough to do it in with what I have going on here. Past mile 37. Should be coming up to mile 38 shortly. Marble Quarry campsite will be up on the left. That's 38.2. Habitat restoration, no mowing. And Marble Quarry campsite. Watch the nettles on the edge by the river. And camp for tonight. First things first, get my chair out. It's about 3 o'clock, plenty of time. I won't set up until an hour before dark. It's warm out. It's probably reached 80. Not sure if I'll have more campers tonight here or not. But I'll probably camp over here. But if they start the fire, I don't know. But the sun will set in about 2 hours almost, and that's what it looks like. Got the tent all set up. That's been set up for a couple hours. Everything ready inside. Should be a warm night. May not even need the quilt. But this is what the campsite looks like right now. Now, there's a path down to the river. I haven't taken it. I don't usually go down to the river. Have an occasional jet over ahead, but no trains. Usually later in the night I'll hear owls in the distance. Sometimes even right across the towpath. So that right behind me. And that's the view. Well, about everything's packed away for the night. I'll carry that next to the tent, into the tent. It's got my last water in it. I have to filter some tomorrow. But everything's stowed away, including the bike. That's what's left to take inside. It's a nice evening. You can still see the sun setting there. Pretty quiet, just a jet or two overhead. Got up at 8 this morning. Couldn't sleep any longer, so got up. Sun was shining on the tent. Got things packed up. Ate a breakfast bar. And I'm rolling now. It's 9 o'clock. So I was on the towpath about 8:45. That's another glorious morning. Sun shining. 35 miles to Shepherdstown. Breeze is good as I roll along here. In the meantime, everything looks great out here. Come on out if you get out here. Flowers are in bloom. I meant to look these up. I'm not sure which ones these are, but I've seen them mostly at this end, 38 to about 25. There may have been some stragglers elsewhere. I only made it down to Swains Lock, as I mentioned before. I didn't want to trust this wheel going into DC and back, adding too many extra miles, especially on that rougher section. So I don't know what it is. I guess that was just the straw that broke the camel's back, or broke the spoke rather. We'll take the 680X out next week and see how far I want to go with that. I need to get used to it. It's feels different than this e-bike. The e-bike feels pretty natural right now because I've been riding it for over a year, or about a year. So I just need to get used to the 680X, just the way it sets. So anxious to see what it'll be like with gear. I'm gonna tailor it back on weight. I'll lose the e-bike weight for sure, and obviously no spare batteries, so I'll lose 35 pounds easily right off the top. But then I've got some extra food up here I don't really need, I'll take my peanut butter and jelly mostly. So, all right. How's the fishing? Ah, okay. Good luck. So ride it next week. Do you know the towpath is a historic park? It's a national park. Chesapeake, Ohio, National Historic Park. 184.5 miles long. Lots to see. Lots of places to camp. If you have a tent and you're set up for that. It's easy to do. Get yourself a tent. Something to lay on. An air mattress, cushion, and a sleeping bag or something. I use a quilt. There's a view of the power plant a little bit from the other direction now. Keep an eye out. Turtles. They're out. You just have to run across them. I like this section. It's 2 or 3 miles of all this, and then the rock. It all blends in well. I have tendency to reach for my phone too much, so much to see, even though I've seen it all before several times. It's like your first time seeing all this again. It's pretty awesome. Got to see it in person. Videos don't do it justice. That's the 42-mile marker. Now coming up onto Monocacy Aqueduct. And the parking lot's out here to the right. If you remember, that's also where Dickerson Market is. 1.8 miles from here. But it has about 4 or 5 climbs, short ones, but it's uphill. Monocacy Aqueduct. We're on the top this time. We came on the lower side coming down. Let's walk it through. Just finished crossing the Monocacy Aqueduct, and I want to thank the Park Service volunteers putting these benches up here. They're nice to sit down and take a break. For me, it's breakfast time. I'll get a breakfast bar out. Only 4 miles so far, about half an hour. Going slow. Lots to see. On the west side of Monocacy Aqueduct is Indian Flats campsite. Probably about 42.5 or thereabouts. Another couple miles up here is Nolan's Ferry boat ramp. It's a day park rest area, picnic area. Thank you to all the rangers, volunteers, stewards, maintenance especially, clearing trees. Just so much more that I don't even know about that goes into taking care of the park through here. It's a National Historic Park, 184 miles of it. Washington, D.C. to Cumberland. So, this is mile 44 area, 45 coming up on. And Point of Rocks up here 48. So, thank you again, all the rangers, and Ranger Gaskin sitting back there watching for things. Anything out of the ordinary, I'm sure. And the railroad track converges again, and some deer. Look at those deer. Oh dear. They're down in there. See if we can get them. They're probably way up there by now. I don't know. deer. Alright, so I was talking about the railroad track. So the railroad track here at mile 45 area reconverges it along the towpath. Goes right past Point of Rocks. Up ahead is that campsite that's just outside of Point of Rocks, just east of it, about a mile. How you doing? Calico Rocks, like your biker campsite. Just past mile 48, and the exit to get over to the Point of Rocks Park for refilling your waters, etc., is just up here. Brunswick is ahead about 7 miles. Over there. We're going to go up this way. Parking lot's down there. There's another entrance to the towpath past the parking lot. There's also a boat ramp down there. And that, in the distance, is Route 15 bridge. So let's go up here to refill my waters. The water's just over here. If you saw the other video coming down, this is the same place. The water's right over here.